This is the Relevant Podcast.
It's episode 1159, and it's the Relevant Podcast here in Orlando. I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and joining me from Loverland, Virginia, is Jesse Carey.
Hello, hello.
From Nashville, our managing editor, downtown, Emily Brown.
Hey, y'all.
The daughter of Bobby Brown, we learned last episode.
Right.
Yeah. No, for real. Her dad's name is Bobby Brown.
No, it's Robbie Brown.
Robert Brown is Bobby Brown. Anyway, and from LA, you know him from Social Club Misfits. It's Marty.
You caught me.
Aye,
Jaws are on the ground.
That's not bad.
Bobby Brown, you caught me is a good one.
Little behind the scenes to the listeners. This is Tuesday's episode, but we are recording this on Friday, the previous Friday at lunchtime. Emily is very, very, very tired because she was messaging me at 3 a.m. last night all about the Taylor Swift double album drop.
To be clear, I was messaging anyone who was awake at 3 a.m. about it.
I have a question for you, Emily, because
Please.
you know we were informed that day that the album would be dropping at midnight, right? And so, you know, but
Emily
it was
had it early. FYI, it leaked. She had it.
I didn't listen to it, but I did have.
Look at this dedication. She did have the leak early on Thursday.
It was in my text
Chose
messages.
to refrain. Did not listen to it so she could experience it with all the other Swifties at midnight. She didn't want to
Taylor,
cheat.
if you're listening, keep that in mind.
Do you have access to the Ryan Garcia fight tomorrow and those texts? Like, are you getting just links?
I probably could. I'll be honest. I can find links pretty easily.
But here's my question, and so can the FBI. They know you did it. Here's my question though, Emily. So, you know, we were all had some knowledge that an album was dropping at midnight, but then again, I haven't followed it really closely. This morning, I, like most people, was curious to hear what the vibe of the new album was. But at 2 a.m., it was like a double album surprise drop, the anthology. How were you just awake anticipating that there was more to come, or were you just staying awake all night? Like how were you awake at the time that the double album surprise dropped at 2?
So 2 parts to that. One, I'm normally awake at that time. I don't really sleep much. But it also came, it was 1 a.m. my time. So it wasn't as bad. But the second was there was like a countdown on her Instagram that there was something else happening at that time. So I thought it was going to be like a few new albums because she released multiple vinyls.
Few new songs, not a few new albums.
I thought it was going to be 4 songs. Sorry. So she released multiple vinyls, and on each vinyl there was like 1 extra track. So I thought she was just going to put those 4 on streaming. And then I refreshed Spotify and I see that there's 15 new songs, and I got a second wind in me like I've never had one before. So
You just want to tell somebody. I know.
no, so I had one other friend who was also staying up. All my other friends had said like they were going to, like, we were texting while we were listening to the first part of the album, and then around like midnight when we all finished listening, they all went to bed. So then I said I felt like Paul Revere, just texting all my friends so that they would see in the morning like there's a double album, you need to listen. And so then I woke up but like 7 this morning to all my friends texting back being like, what? A double album? And I was like, yes, tell me your thoughts. I've already listened to it.
31 songs. That is insane. Now, as a Swiftie, I won't listen to any of them, so you can tell me your opinion. As a Swiftie, out of the 31 songs, how many are good songs? Because that usually there's a less is more situation with artists. Like they need to you recorded 100, but you picked the
Everything
right
is good,
12.
but what's the great ones?
What are
Yeah.
the 12 that should make the album? It feels like it's like Donda 2. Donda was enough. We didn't need Donda 2. You know, like those were the B cuts, the leftovers. Are these leftovers or are they good songs?
No, so the second half anthology, honestly liked it way more than the first part. It has, if you like her Evermore albums, you're going to like this part. I would say the first part of the album sounds more like Midnights. So
the only Taylor Swift song I know 2, Shake It Off and Single Ladies. That's about all I know of Taylor Swift's catalog.
Okay, Single Ladies, that was a joke. Neither of those
I
songs
just wanted to
sound
make
like
you
this
mad.
album.
I'm sorry. I just want to make you
First
mad.
off, how dare you? First off, how
First off, how dare you?
She literally started rolling up her sleeve. You guys didn't see it. She was about to. She's about
Just
to
be
fight.
glad that we're states away. Okay, so of the 31 songs, again, I've only listened to the whole thing once because like it's a 2-hour album. I did have to go to a little bit of sleep last night. I won't say which one. I think there was one that could have been left off, but I will never voice it out loud.
You said you told me Florida. You said Florida.
Dang it, Cameron! Bleep that out. Bleep that out.
You said that was the one with the Kendrick diss?
Hold on, Emily. Why is legitimate artistic critique? Why are you like hesitant to put that into the world?
So I will say I'm hesitant simply because I just didn't like it on the first listen. So it could change. Like I could listen to it again and like it different. That's the only reason why I'm like it's for myself. It could change. There also could be songs that I listen to again and I'm like, actually, no, yeah, I didn't really like that at all. Like, it was just new. Because I've had that happen with albums before with her of like, I really liked a song and then I listened to it and I was like, this isn't as good as I remember it.
I'm just impressed by I'm impressed by the dedication because there's never been an album that I've like, stayed up to listen to, or even like the moment it dropped. It didn't even have to be the middle of the night. I was never that interested. The only thing I think I've ever said, I don't even, Marty, you mentioned a fight. I can't even watch like UFC fights or boxing just because it's like I'm not staying up till 12:30 for something to start. I can barely watch the opening. I'm getting old. Can barely stay up for the opening monologue
like,
of SNL. The only thing I think the only time I've ever done the midnight thing was like the night like Dark Knight released, and I paid a terrible price the next day. I was very tired.
2011 June 8th. Yeah, my birthday.
You know what she should have done? Instead of the 2 a.m. thing, everybody would have been gaga over just the album drop, right? Yeah. She could have dropped it next Friday, the other half.
You read my mind.
She could have owned multiple weeks of Apple Music.
Yes. She could have ruined everything for a whole 2 weeks.
She also could have done it at like noon today. A lot of Swifties who are not in middle school or high school were saying like, listen, I got a job.
Wait, are there any?
My daughter is 8 and she just did a talent show dance to 22 at her elementary. Taylor Swift is my wife went to the elementary school talent show auditions and she said it was about 70% people doing Taylor Swift stuff at that age.
We have a great show in store for you today. Coming up later, we talk to Joel Smallbone, the star of the new film Unsung Hero, which debuts this Friday. It's your first look at the new movie. Look at us on the cutting edge. You don't want to miss that. Also, at the end of the show, we like to theme our games, right? So it's March. The NBA playoffs started a few days ago. And it's also, the news came out this past week that more states are following the lead of California, which followed the lead of Europe. And they're going to be banning a lot of your favorite snack items like Doritos, Flaming Hot Cheetos, Gatorade. All these things are going to get banned because of certain chemicals that are linked to cancer.
I have a slice about that. We'll dive in here.
I won't talk about it, but the news came out this week. So we combined the two and we're doing the ultimate road trip snack playoff.
Ooh.
It's a bracketology game about road trip snacks. All right, so there you go. That's coming up. But stay tuned right now. Slices.
Now I'm lonely. Nothing is forever, but forever's always whispering closely. Hello, lonely.
You're listening to Alfie Templeman. The song is Hello, Lonely. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Mercy Ships. Globally, 5 billion people lack access to surgical care. In sub-Saharan Africa, there's only one surgeon for every 200,000 people. Mercy Ships provides free, life-transforming surgeries for people who have little to no access to medical care. They help the blind see, straighten twisted limbs, remove deadly tumors, treat cleft conditions, and so much more. With state-of-the-art hospital ships, they provide safe surgery to children and adults living with treatable conditions, and it's completely free of charge. They do all this work with an all-volunteer crew of professionals who donate their time and talents. Surgeons, stewards, nurses, engineers, and more make the world a better place.
Your donation today provides free, safe surgeries to people in desperate need of help. All gifts are matched, so please donate today at mercyships.org/relevant.
Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Tim Tebow's book, Look Again. Have you ever wondered what would change if you truly believed you were infinitely valuable to God? In his New York Times bestselling book, Look Again, Tim Tebow reveals the powerful truth that when we learn to see the image of God in every person, including those we struggle to love, everything changes. Tebow shares incredible stories from his work with people the world often overlooks, and it will challenge you to stand up to the lies, rediscover the worth that everyone has, and impact the world for good. Find Look Again by Tim Tebow, available now wherever books are sold. That's what everybody said to me when they saw me in high school. Okay, it's time for
Slices.
What do you have, Jesse?
All right, Cameron. So as you alluded, there's major news in the world of snacks. Now, most of the subscriptions that I now maintain are snack industry related media. I'm big in snack content. So, Cameron, as you mentioned moments ago, there are several additives. Most of them have to do with food colorings. Yellow 6, red 40, yellow 5. It doesn't matter, right?
Lots of colors.
Colors and numbers.
Chemicals, yeah.
Outside, yeah, exactly. We got it. Various dyes are linked to things like cancer, mood disorders, fertility issues, and California passed a ban that's going to take effect in 2027 that will ban a lot of these substances that are used in food. Now, several other states, including New York, Pennsylvania, Illinois, New Jersey, and Missouri, are about to pass similar legislation. Now, here are some of the snacks that are affected. Skittles, Nerds, Hot Tamales, Swedish Fish, M&M's, various flavors of Jell-O, Gatorade, Fruit Loops, Trix, Lucky Charms. A couple salad dressings are in the mix. Some Dorito flavors. This is big. This is a huge part of my diet. Massive part of my diet. I named like 4 things that I ate yesterday. Okay.
This is cereal.
Yeah, in just the cereal category, not counting the snacks. Now, the legislators are saying that, if companies can avoid putting these chemicals in, their products won't be banned. But, these additives, they're saying, it's not safe to have them. We know too much now. I think there's an easy solution here, okay? Because most of these are color-related additives, right? They're not really enhancing the flavor of the food. And I think, let's take a Skittles example, right? You dump all the Skittles out on the table, right? No one eats Skittles like that, but just humor me here. Are you picking around, going color to color, or are you just kind of blindly Skittling, right?
You're pulling a Matthew McConaughey
I'll be honest,
on
sometimes
that one
I am
movie
looking for specific colors, though. Every now and then.
Wait, of Skittles? Because I get that for Starburst, but like Skittles? That's just a handful thing.
Well,
You
okay,
just
I like
I like
the wild berry, the purple bag, the wild berry kind. And so there are the blue ones are my favorite. So sometimes I'm like, I just want a good small handful of blues. So that's like every now and then.
But here,
So you're crazy.
back in the day when and Airheads, I don't think are part of this. I didn't see them specifically named, but like Airheads, they're at the gas station.
They're not organic Airheads.
Airheads like eating edible rubber. It's very
I think
strange.
it would be
texture.
among the top of the list. You are eating petroleum. That's
But here's the thing. I remember back in the day when I was a kid at the gas station, you go down the Airhead aisle, right? And they would have like purple, red, blue, and they had white mystery flavor. Okay.
Yeah.
I'd go mystery every time. All right. Because it's that's part of the fun. Here's another example real quick. At the mall, we had a dollar store at the mall, a Dollar Tree at the mall when I was a kid.
A high-end mall, clearly, yes.
Yeah, exactly. I'm pretty sure it all got turned into
Gucci, Dollar Tree. Yeah, it was
Sears.
The north end of the mall.
Yeah, the wall of the books, a bunch of shoe stores, a lot of shoe stores. Anyway, the Dollar Tree, I think they had a manager who went a little rogue, okay? Because it was definitely like a chain Dollar Tree type of situation. It wasn't like just, like a mom and pop Dollar Tree operation. It was branded, right? but they had an aisle where they had paper bags, okay? And they were grab bags, and they were what you didn't know what was in there, but you knew it was filled with items, okay? And my parents would drop us off at, or whatever. They would do their shopping. They'd be like, all right, you guys go to the Dollar Tree. You can pick out, here's $1 to go pick out anything you want. And it was, dude, at that time, Dollar Trees had legit cool stuff for $1. You know what I mean?
They did.
Like little football squirt guns, like cool stuff you'd actually want. Every time I take the mystery bag. Every time. And I think the manager was just taking extra inventory.
Yeah, of course.
Put it in paper bags, But the thrill of not knowing.
Throw a DVD in there.
Yeah, exactly. Most of the time they were duds. Every once in a while you get a loaded grab bag. But my whole point is this. We don't need colors for all these candies and chips and stuff. It's grab bag status from here on. Every bag of Skittle is just some bland color. Without any additives.
Like everything looks like it's Dharma Initiative canned goods, just Skittles, black and white labels.
Isn't Skittles tagline "Taste the Rainbow"? I feel like you kind of need
taste the rainbow. Yeah,
well, you're tasting the rainbow. You're not looking at the rainbow.
Yeah, I think if I want to see a rainbow, go out on after a rainstorm. Great. I don't need it in candy form. I don't need to see it.
Just popping your white candies, sitting on a hillside, looking at the rainbow. I'm tasting what I'm looking at. Yeah.
No one's like, oh man, I'm having a bad day. I'm going to go buy a bag of Skittles. I'm just going to pour them out and stare at them. No one does that. They eat them. Same thing with any of these candies. Like
Emily might be like, all right, red, green.
Here is an actual thing. I like your idea. Here's an actual part of the news item that like people need to actually understand about this. It's only 5 states, first of all, but it's, they're not going to manufacture 2 versions of this food. Yeah. These 5 states, California led the way, is going to change everything. But Europe has already done this. Europe has done this years ago. And so what has happened is they didn't remove Skittles from Europe. They just make Skittles with non-cancer dye. And it's the same Skittles, the same flavor, minus the cancer chemicals. So Europe is ahead of us on this, and they're just trying to bring that to the U.S. The crazy thing to me is, why didn't the manufacturers just do this when Europe made them do it? Why didn't they bring the cancer candy over to America? Why are we?
I think it's cheaper.
That's a good point.
I think however they make it.
It is cheaper, and our regulations are a lot lower. So actually, people are like, too much government, get out of our food. No, thank you. How about some cancer candies?
Yeah.
I like my idea better. It's safer.
Dharma Initiative. Our grocery stores look like the Dharma cans, just black and white labels. You don't know what's in there. It's just all white and gray.
Every time like even Doritos, you don't know. I think they take the labels off the bags too. Let's go all in here, okay? It just says Dorito. You might be going Cool Ranch. You might be going nacho cheese. You don't know. We all need a little mystery in our lives. This introduces that.
But what's going to happen is like the same thing that happens at my record store. They have the grab bag blind bags too, of all the random leftover vinyls that nobody wants. So you can get like 10 for like $5 sort of thing. If you're going for optics and you just want to fill up your record shelf, that's a great way to do it. But it's all terrible. It's always terrible. So you look like you have a lot of vinyl and stuff, but you never listen to any of it. So that's what you're going to do for grocery shopping and pantries. It's going to just look full, but you don't want to eat any of it because it was all like blind bagging. You don't know what you actually have. It's not a good solution, Jesse.
I agree to disagree, I guess. Our lives are too boring and safe. They're too boring and safe. Let's get weird at the 7-Eleven. That's what
all right. Well, that'll be coming up in the game. All right. What do you have, Marty?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I know you love that.
I knew it.
I know you love that. What's going on, everybody? All right. So the mustache revolution has begun. Pringles and Crocs have officially dropped their crossover shoe. Speaking of snacks, Jesse, you got to see these bad boys.
It's real.
They have 3 collaborations. They got one that is a classic clog. Comes with these little tidbits. Look pretty nice. The second one is the one I really want to focus on here. It's a boot. It's a boot with a holster for your Pringles on the left side.
Yeah, on both feet. So you could double dip.
It hides the ankle monitor. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a really interesting piece. It's white. And it's got red inside of it, and it has attached to it like something from Star Wars, like something
it's like a holster. It's like a gun holster,
like a Han Solo type of holster on the both sides.
Are you supposed to put the entire can in it? Because like the entire can's pretty tall. Or
I think
just
it's
like the mini
I think
ones?
it's the snack cans, the mini cans.
And
Can you imagine the long
It comes
one?
with some snack cans. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I mean, then it would be like, imagine being pulled over by the cops and being like, I just have my wallet in here. It's like those slow motion videos. Like, hold on, officer. It comes with a new flavor. And so that flavor you're able to take and then put inside of the shoe. The flavor is a West Coast flavor. It's something that we don't get on the East Coast. And so if you're listening to this and you're in the time zone that is, it's already, 2:00 right now, and I'm at 10:00. You don't know about this. It's watermelon chili lime.
That sounds
Watermelon,
disgusting.
actually. So you guys say it's disgusting, but for some reason in California, it is. It's you would go to get a piece of watermelon, they're throwing chili on it, and then they're squeezing lime on it. It's a very common thing here. So
You know
I
what?
feel like
I've
maybe they're
had-
just going after the core audience.
I have had like I'll pour like tahini on top of pineapple or something. So like I assume that's very similar. But there's something about watermelon chili lime that on a chip that feels illegal.
Well, I will tell you this. If you go to Pringles.com right now, because I did this last night with my middle schooler who heard about this and asked me about it, and I pulled it up. The boots are sold out. But the
Gone.
regular Pringles Crocs, which have mustache, the strap on the back, it's the Pringles mustache. They're
Very
Pringles
smart.
colors. They have the Pringles toys that plug into it, Pringles cans, logos, whatever. Those are readily available in all sizes still. So you can go to Pringles.com.
I can't
and get your
believe those
Pringle
haven't
Crocs.
sold out. That's shocking.
And even at the Crocs store, some of them they're available. Probably only on the West Coast, of course, but they also have a sandal version of the shoe, and they come with these little gibbets, and they're like little, like a mustache and like the Pringles logo, and so you could decorate and customize them. Apparently, these were sent out to a bunch of influencers for Coachella, and you'll never guess who were the only two to wear them. It was Ashley Simpson and Evan Ross, Diana Ross's son. They're the only ones who wore them.
I'm just impressed they were invited to Coachella.
Yeah, they're the type of influencers that whatever they get, they're gonna
that's
wear.
how far Coachella has sunk that they were invited. Coachella.
They're the type of influencers that they don't even review. They just put it on, and they're just like really cool, and not like they're just happy to get it and be a part of it. I feel like
they're probably not getting much PR packages, so they're like, okay,
after
we
the
will.
show ended, right? They had a show at one point, right? And so long story short, they're available right now on Crocs. There's some available, a lot of sizes are sold out. If you live in the West Coast, selected stores do have them. But like I said, the mustache revolution is here. They look wild. And
They really, really do. All right. What do you have, Emily?
I actually have some sports news to talk about. Hold the applause. I know y'all are shocked. I feel like I've made my opinion on sports pretty clear on this podcast, which in general is that I'm happy athletes get to have their fun, playing their little games and doing what they love and making money. But it's recently come to my attention that not all athletes are making that much money. And I now just feel bad.
Archers are not lucrative. Not a lucrative career path.
Yeah.
Axe
Who would have
throwers,
known?
Not lucrative.
Who would have known?
Bowlers. Yeah.
Not I. And apparently WNBA players are also in that category.
I wondered if you were going to go there. Yeah.
I am going to go there because
this is startling. Yeah.
Because as of this week, I am now on the Caitlin Clark defense team. She is she was the number one draft pick for the WNBA this year. She was selected by the Indiana Fever, and her contract was going viral because her salary for her first year in the WNBA is $76,000. That is the salary of someone who sits in a cubicle office every day from 9 to 5 typing on a computer, which is a respectable job.
driving a Civic.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like that. If you are a professional athlete,
show the contrast of what the number one pick in the NBA made.
oh,
this
so
year.
glad you asked. Can you say his name for me? Because I don't know how to say it.
Victor Wembanyama.
Thank you. That man
Victor Wembanyama.
made $10.1 million in his first year. $10 million
1.1
compared
million
to
to
76,000.
76,000. That is less than 1% of the NBA comp.
Wow.
I was gonna say the lowest NBA player makes $1.1 million. So the worst player in the NBA makes $1 million, and the best draft pick makes $76,000. Just
Now,
What channel do you even watch women's basketball?
Stop it.
but
They have
no,
it on
but
the
but
list.
but to the
Ocho? ESPN Ocho?
Jesse has some
but-
thoughts. Everybody,
no, I was just going to say there obviously that I think, especially with how I've watched all Caitlin Clark's games this year on, in the tournament. I was a big fan. And, thankfully, I think she's earning a lot more in endorsements. And
that is true.
she actually, she's earned a ton even as a college athlete. But the WNBA, like the NBA, has a players association that negotiates salaries based on league revenue. So the best way to be an advocate for these athletes is to, one, watch WNBA games, go attend WNBA games, and buy WNBA merchandise, because that is the money that they get paid with, just like the NBA, and TV rights.
in general, yes. And what the NBA Players Association did is the league was so profitable in the 90s and 2000s, after Jordan and, and Kobe and Shaq and all this stuff. When they came to the table, there was a strike. The NBA players striked, I think it was in 2010, 12, somewhere in there. And half the season was gone because the players put their foot down to say, we want to do a revenue split. We will split the league profits 50-50 between the team owners and the players. So then when the league negotiates new TV deals and things like that, the league salaries shoot way up too, right? So it's a 50-50 revenue split. And so everybody's saying, well, the WNBA should do the same thing. The problem is the WNBA loses money every year. The NBA subsidizes the WNBA by like $50 million. So there is no profit to split. So the WNBA Players Association negotiated a different type of deal with these kind of set salaries at a much lower marker because the league is failing. But your larger point remains.
I was going to say, if once that they do have a profit, they get 50% of it. That is still part of the WNBA. So like.
But the salaries are where they are because it's never made money ever.
Yeah.
So,
but if more people actually supported the league and went to games and bought jerseys, they're still entitled to 50% of that league revenue as part of their. But they haven't. But they're not at the point where that is. So again, like. If this is, and it is outrageous, right?
So I didn't know this. So you're correcting me. Yeah. So the collective bargaining agreement for the WNBA is the same as the NBA, that it is a 50-50 profit split, but there's just no profits.
That's what according to justwomensports.com in the WNBA, players receive 50% of incremental.
The thing that's crazy is that everybody's looking at like the comparable appeal and revenue of the two leagues, right? So if you go to WNBA game, there's going to be 6,000 to 10,000 people there. You go to an NBA game, it's 20,000, right? Ratings, obviously a lot more TV games for NBA than WNBA, whatever. The thing that's crazy to me is the salary discrepancy is not the same as the league revenue discrepancy. Like she's making less than 1%, 0.7 of 1% what the number one NBA draft pick makes. 1%. The WNBA does not make 1% of the revenue the NBA makes. You know what I'm saying? So like it's out of kilter even in its current state. It's like things need to change.
But when you look at merchandising and international TV, most of the NBA money is still TV rights, right? Billions and billions of dollars. But there's one way to get WNBA TV rights to be more profitable, and that's to watch more WNBA games. Like I think, and Caitlin Clark's I think one of the perfect athlete. And dude, I'm a big Angel Reese fan. I know, Cameron. I think we were talking one day. I was team Angel Reese. Like I like the edge she plays with. Like I like that grit and attitude, like old school, like Barkley. Like
she's just starting fights to start fights. I
love it. But either way, like I think that this new generation of female basketball players is going to bring a lot of people to the game, and I think that's how ultimately, in addition to bringing awareness to the paid disparagement, it's going to change is bringing fans to the sport, which will increase revenue.
The thing that people don't remember is the WNBA is only 20 years old, right? And the NBA, when it was 20 years old, was the NBA finals were on tape delay. CBS did not play the NBA finals primetime at 8:00. They played them at midnight.
No one cared.
But nobody cared. And then all of a sudden, Magic and Bird got drafted. Showtime Lakers happened. Jordan happened. And now it's popular, right? Now people want to watch the games. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese are going to do the same thing for the WNBA. This is the magic and bird moment. Give them time. Revenue will grow. Interest will grow. The NBA didn't start out what it is. It's just further down the road than the WNBA. So I think this is the natural progression, and it's a good moment for women's sports. So
they should allow dunking. Don't they?
They do allow dunking. They just don't physically do it very often. Yeah.
I'll be starting a new wave of feminism, and we're going to be watching women's sports. And in solidarity, I will not be watching any male sports until women are paid equally.
That's about right.
Which is about what I'm doing right
That's
now.
On brand. That's on brand.
All right. Well, that'll do it for Slices. Go check out relevantmagazine.com every day, where we are covering the intersection of faith, culture, and everything in between. Stay tuned. Up next, Joel Smallbone joins us. You're listening to Local Natives. The song is Throw It in the Fire. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by John Mark Comer's book, Garden City, a book that speaks to the tension we all feel between work, rest, and purpose. The New York Times bestselling author John Mark Comer takes us to the scriptures to identify what it really means to be human and flips the script on the idea that who you are matters, not what you do. He shows that God created us for meaningful work and meaningful rest. Both matter. This book helps you ask and answer the big questions. Does God care where I work? Is there a direction for my life? So you can discern God's heart for your calling, your rhythms, and the way His Spirit wants to shape every part of your life. If you're longing for purpose and a more grounded way to live, check out the new hardcover edition of Garden City wherever books are sold.
Well, today's show is brought to you in part by the new book, God, the Science, the Evidence. We talk a lot about faith, but how often do we talk about science in the same breath? You might be surprised to discover just how deeply the two actually agree. For centuries, science has been used to dismiss the idea of God, but today an intellectual revolution is underway. Modern discoveries in physics, cosmology, and biology are consistently revealing the same truth: creation isn't an accident. That profound reversal is what engineers Michel-Yves Bolloré and Olivier Bonassi investigate in their international bestseller, God, the Science, the Evidence. This book is a rigorous, evidence-based critique of materialism, inviting you to explore over a dozen scientific, philosophical, and historical domains. It shows that what was once seemed impossible, that science could point to a creator, is now supported by a vast and convergent body of evidence. With over 400,000 copies sold in Europe, this book is sparking a global debate. It's thoughtful, fascinating, and a powerful reminder that reason itself affirms the existence of God. Learn more and find out where you can purchase your copy today by visiting GodTheScienceTheEvidence.com.
Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Erwin McManus's book, The Barbarian Way. Some books don't just inspire you, they confront you. The Barbarian Way, now celebrating its 20th anniversary, is one of those books. If you felt the pull of God towards something deeper and wilder than the safe, predictable version of faith that we settle for, McManus reminds us that following Jesus was never meant to be tame. It's meant to awaken courage, passion, and purpose God placed inside us. He draws from the wild stories of Abel, Noah, Moses, Rahab, and others to remind us that following God wasn't meant to be tame. Safe faith isn't working. Step into the story God is writing for you. Choose passion, choose boldness, choose The Barbarian Way. Available now wherever books are sold. Our guest today is Joel Smallbone. You know him as one part of For King and Country, but this week he's joining us to talk about his new film, Unsung Hero. The film tells the story of the Smallbone family's inspirational real-life journey from Australia to Nashville in the 90s and kicking off the career of Joel and Luke's sister, Rebecca St. James. Ahead of the release, we sat down with Joel to hear more about the film and his family's story. Here's our conversation with Joel Smallbone.
How y'all doing?
Are y'all from England?
Australia. Australia. Wish I had an accent.
Dad, I wrote a song. Thought maybe we could ask for an audition.
Oh, that's great, honey. Let's take it one step at a time. Kay tells me you're a promoter. You know someone looking for one?
Well, I may know somebody who should be.
She's been given a beautiful voice. It's a miracle.
She's a special one, son. Your family, they're not in the way. They are the way.
There's no food, and we're almost out of money. We need to make some changes. Kids, we need your help. This is everything we have, and sometimes it's going to grow, and sometimes it will shrink, but it cannot be allowed to disappear. I wonder if he's right. Maybe I'm not meant to sing. Or maybe you're not meant to sing other people's songs. It's going to be dangerous and scary. And giving up, giving in, it's not an option. Whatever your dream is, I know you can achieve it.
Please welcome my big sister.
My dream is to be like you. It always has been.
So this film is about your family's journey from Australia to Nashville in the 90s. When did you know you wanted to turn your family story into a movie?
It was actually more Luke's idea than mine. So Luke, in sort of a pay it forward act, has been sharing our family stories at For King Country shows as part of an opportunity to rally around kids and sponsorship and support them around the world. He's been telling it, Emily, for years. And it was 2020. It was actually, we were like doing a drive-in tour. And Luke had called a producer friend and said, hey, I think we should just explore like putting this story into development. And you know that like stories get written all the time. Films get written all the time, but the percentages of them that actually get made, the percentages of them that actually get released in theaters is like minuscule. And so we spent about 2 years on the script. A guy named Richard Ramsey, screenwriter, I co-wrote it with him. And then so many twists and turns. But I remember a pivotal moment when it became a reality. We have what we call, you know, I'm sure you do this with articles, but like you break the story. You get a bunch of people in the room and you sort of talk about it all. So we're in the middle of a pandemic. We meet at a Hampton Inn, late 2020. We're doing drive-in shows, you know. We've all got masks on. And, you know, we sort of tell Richard the beats of the story. And then he looks at Dad and he goes, David, I'm so sorry that this happened to you guys. But then he looked at all of us and was like, but what a great movie this could make. Like, because and what's crazy is we even took out the based on true story because it just is. Like, even down to that moment where David shows up on his 40th and has the surprise, like that happened that way. Like it just, and so it almost felt, as to why we did it, it was almost like yes, it's our story. It's not really Luke's and my story. It's our parents' story. But it's always just felt like such a compelling piece. It was like, we should just give it a go.
I'm sure there were many moments in your story that you could have included. How did you know which ones were going to make the cut?
Question was the time frame. Our brother Ben, who's a director, he didn't work on this with us in production, but he kind of helped develop, and he had to really develop it. And he really loved the moment, the adventure of when we started traveling together. And so actually that final scene, which I won't give away for your listeners and viewers and readers, but that final scene was really his kind of doing. Whereas I wanted to focus more on like the migration story, Mom being pregnant, Rebecca and James, our sisters, sort of us losing everything and the way the family came together. And so we sort of, and we set the boundary markers. We didn't want to go much further than 2 years, even because we got all these kids playing these roles and like aging people up, and like it gets very complex. So we kind of nailed down that the tenants were like 1991, you know, starting in Australia to like 93-ish. It was just the most dramatic time for us as a family. So I think, you know, inherently you lean on the drama. You go, where is the key dramatic moments, and work back from that.
When the movie takes place, you were still pretty young at the time. So did you work with your parents and siblings to get those moments right?
Yeah, Richard was really great in that he literally sat down for probably 3 or 4 hours with mom, with dad, with each sibling, and just kind of had them sort of frame up, particularly when we had a blueprint, like, hey, frame up this story, a piece of the story. And then what was so fun about me coming in as screenwriting as well is obviously all of dad's like ticks and quotes and the family dynamics. And, you just knew, I just knew, and I loved it because I co-directed it. Also, I loved this idea of like, instead of telling the actors what to do, most of the time I got to jump, as a director even, I got to jump into the scene with them in playing my dad and sort of pull it out of them in real time. And I loved that opportunity because it's so much easier to push and pull on a scene when you're in it with them than try and tell them how to enact it,
I'm so curious, what was it like for you to play the role of your own father?
I mean, it's such a multiverse moment, right? It's like you're playing your dad and you're looking at Joel as a son, but you were Joel, but now you are Joel, and you're looking at your mother, or you're kissing your mom, but she's not your mom, but you're your dad. And it was like, this is sort of, there's a couple points that it broke my brain a little bit, Emily, to be honest. It was very rich, though, from the vantage point of, I think I've always been very lazy with my parents' story from the vantage point of what was going on in the 90s, what was going on in Australia, what was dad feeling with 6 kids, and one on the way, what was mom feeling, and the ability, I've always seen our story from a childlike perspective because that's the way I lived it. But now at roughly his age, to go back and re-experience the story from his vantage point, it's actually really powerful. And it has given me, it has given me a deeper empathy for him as a man than I think I've ever had. And I'll say this lastly, I'm really proud that we made it while they were still living. I think a lot of times you make these things after people are gone. And the ability to actually make it and have them experience it and relive it, there's something really powerful to me about that.
What are you hoping people learn from your family story?
Well, there's a great quote at the end that's a paraphrase from Mother Teresa that says, if you want to change the world, go home and love your family. I think that's part of it on just a real sort of macro level. I think when you drop down into the micro, we're all very aware that we're grappling with a lot as humanity right now. We've got all of these like really powerful things, particularly smartphones, that have just been dropped into our lap, literally. And we're going, how do we, like, we've almost got this whole other world that's happening inside this thing. And then there's this world that's happening in real time. Which one do we choose? Like, this is the decision we're making right now. Like, do we choose, a cyber sort of family? Do we choose our physical family? Do we choose our physical community, a cyber community? And I like that this was like the 90s was right on the cusp of all of this stuff, It was sort of like the last, if you want to call them the glory days of like sitting around the table as a family. And I hope that people ask a question. I think the answer is going to be different for everyone. I think some of it's going to be biological family. Some of it's going to be not literal family. Some of it's going to be parenting. Some of it's from a kid's perspective. But I hope that they're entertained. Obviously, I hope that people love the 90s music and the 90s era and all those things. I hope that they love the Australian accents, all of the little flavors. But I hope that it provokes a question of going like, well, this is the way society is pushing. But like, how do I associate with my smartphone? Why am I so lonely and isolated in 2024? Should I make some other decisions just to sit down be a bit more still and fight for those around my community a bit more, And again, I think that's what I love about art. Art is it just prods us. It provokes us. It moves us emotionally to look into our own story and ask questions. And so I think, I suppose I hope and simply said that people look inward and go, okay, well, how can I be the most free, lovely version of myself? And I think we'll find that a lot of that's found in community.
That was Joel Smallbone. Make sure to check out the new film, Unsung Hero. It releases nationwide this weekend. Okay, stay tuned. Up next, it's the Road Trip Snack Playoffs. That's it. You're listening to Joe Goddard and Bari. The song is Moments Die. Well, today's podcast is brought to you in part by the new book, Confessions of a Christian Alcoholic. Author Jonathan Seidel knows firsthand how even believers can get stuck in shame and destructive habits, especially when it comes to one of society's biggest obsessions, alcohol. In Confessions of a Christian Alcoholic, he details his spiral into disordered drinking and shares the 4-step process he eventually used to break free. There's hope for alcoholics who become Christians and for Christians who become alcoholics. Find Confessions of a Christian Alcoholic wherever books are sold. What if you could change a child's life with just $10? Right now, thousands of vulnerable children in East Africa are suffering from jiggers. It's a painful, preventable parasite that burrows into their feet. Soul Hope is the only organization treating it through foot washing, medical care, and durable closed-toed shoes that protect kids long after treatment. $10 may not seem like much in today's world, but when we come together, those small gifts add up to big change. Join the 10 for 10 campaign. $10 protects 10 small toes. Visit soulhope.org/10 to give now. One small gift makes a big difference. Again, that's soulhope, SOLE, hope.org/TEN. All right. I mentioned it at the beginning of the show. We have a game. We're calling it Road Trip Snack Playoff. Here is a jingle.
It's the Road Trip Snack Playoffs.
All right. So, we were talking about the banned snack situation. We're talking about the NBA playoffs. We want to do our own playoffs of snacks. Now, these are road trip snacks that you can buy in a convenience store. This is not a full grocery store snack aisle situation. This is convenience store road trip snacks. And so specifically, this isn't Saturday night snacks. This is road trip snacks. All right, here we go.
It matters.
And it does matter. It
does matter.
All right, round one. You guys, it's going to be by vote. So here you go. We can vote. All right, up against each other, the number 1 seed versus the 8 seed. Rolos versus beef jerky.
Beef jerky for
Beef
me.
jerky.
Beef jerkies. If you're not over the age of 75, you don't touch a Rolo.
Okay, fruit by the foot going against Dunkaroos.
Dunkaroos, man.
I'm going to pick fruit by the foot.
Icing.
What's Dunkaroo? Like the little cookie thing that you dip?
Yeah, they were discontinued for about 10 years, but they're making their way back. It's basically this little tray where you take a cookie and you dip it in icing. It's delicious.
Any food that is measured in its length in feet, whether it be sub, party sub, or fruit roll, I'm down. Bubble tape, whatever, I'm down for.
Yeah, so fruit by the foot.
So you're going fruit by the foot, and then
I'm ousted.
Emily, what'd you say?
Fruit by the foot, for sure.
Ooh.
I'm ousted.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Warheads versus Flamin' Hot Cheetos.
Flamin' Hot Cheetos.
Flamin' Hot Cheetos.
Come on, guys.
Easy.
Come on.
All right, Tootsie Rolls versus Cheese Balls.
Cheese balls.
Neither.
Cheese balls.
Neither.
Cheese
Double
balls.
loss.
It just seems like we're not very much chocolatey people at these trips, They melt.
Not Rolos or Tootsie Rolls.
Cool Ranch Doritos versus Push Pops.
Cool Ranch.
Okay, but I
Not
do
even
love
a
a push
debate
pop,
there.
but I will concede to Cool Ranch.
Fruit snacks, like the little gummy snacks, or Skittles?
Skittles all day.
With the dye.
European or America. Yeah. Give me
with
the
red
full,
12.
It's worth the risk.
Yeah.
Trail mix versus sour gummy worms.
Oh, sour gummy worms all day.
All right, Kit Kats versus Pringles.
Pringles. I need a good chip.
Man.
You need a chip
And I
on a
have
road
the shoe
trip.
to back it up. I got a boot for it.
All right, Butterfingers versus Cheez-Its.
Cheez-Its.
I love
Really?
Butterfinger, but Cheez-Its.
I'm a Cheez-Its person.
Butterfinger's my
Forever.
favorite one since The
I
Simpsons.
could go
but
without forever, but I'll go Butterfinger.
All right, Butterfinger. All right, there you
Wow.
go.
Okay. Shots fired.
Pickle versus pork rinds.
Pickle.
Never eat any of those.
You've never had a pickle?
Pickle?
Or not, the one in the bag that you get at Publix? I've never done that.
The
Sorry,
pickle
you know
bag,
what I'm talking about, Cam?
I've never done
Yeah.
that either, yeah.
They do
yeah.
bags of pickles and they have tons of flavors. I mean, I'm assuming if you're at a gas station, you're grabbing that.
Baby bottle pops or sunflower seeds.
Baby bottle pops.
Sunflower seeds.
Baseball.
Sour Patch Kids or Ruffles?
Sour Patch.
Sour Patch Kids.
My wife would say
All day.
Sour Patch. Yeah.
All right, Jesse has to run, so we are going to finish the game without him. Here we go, round 2. Beef jerky versus fruit by the foot.
Beef jerky.
Dang, I'm picking fruit by the foot.
Ooh, I'm the
Cameron,
tiebreaker now.
you're the deciding-
I'm the tiebreaker.
yeah, you're deciding.
I'm going fruit by the foot. Fruit by the foot.
Yes. The real winner.
All right, Cheetos versus cheese balls.
Cheetos.
I like cheese balls. I like throwing them, and I don't know.
Emily, what'd you say?
I could go either way. I will go cheese balls though. I think that'd be more
All
fun.
right.
Office,
road
you start
trip.
throwing them in people's mouth.
All right, Cool Ranch Doritos versus Skittles. Ooh.
I have to go Cool Ranch. It's the best.
Okay, I
chip
have
in
to
the
go
world.
Skittles. So Cameron, you have to decide.
Break it.
I'm a
Think about that
savory
red
person,
dye. Come on.
but I'm thinking like my little splurge on a road trip might be
Yeah,
some
that and a
Skittle.
Coke. Like, it's such
I
an
might-
easy
I
thing
mean,
to do.
Yeah, I'm going Skittles. Yeah.
Oh, hurts so bad.
Gummy worms versus Pringles.
Gummy worms, I'm going to say.
Yeah, gummy worms.
Just
Yeah.
easier.
Butterfinger versus a pickle.
Butterfinger. Oh, my God. Diarrhea versus diarrhea. Which one do we?
Sunflower seeds versus Sour Patch Kids.
I'd
Sour
say
Patch Kids.
sunflower, because they do come in other flavors, though. Sunflower seeds come in many flavors.
I'm going Sour Patch Kids.
So
Garlic Parmesan.
I'm going to go Sour Patch Kids. There's no question here.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, here we go. Next round, we're going fruit by the foot versus cheese balls.
Cheese balls.
Yeah, cheese balls.
Really?
I mean, like, do you even drive with that? You're dangling it over your face like Cleopatra with the grapes and stuff. Like, how do you even eat fruit by the foot?
Yeah, you're right. You're right for a road trip specifically.
Yeah,
All
you
right,
gotta be
Skittles versus gummy worms.
I'm gonna do Skittles actually.
Yeah,
in this one.
Skittles.
Just easier.
Butterfinger versus Sour Patch Kids. That's rough.
Sour Patch Kids.
I like Butterfinger, man. I'm a Butterfinger guy.
What?
I'm going to go
I can't.
Butterfinger. We have enough savory.
wow.
We have enough sour. You know what? We're off. I need 4, so I'm going to pull up a bonus one here to jump ahead. They had a buy. They had a couple buy rounds. Are we going Goldfish or are we going Twizzlers?
Ooh, I love Twizzlers.
Yeah,
that's
let's do
my movie
Twizzlers.
snack.
That's a fun one.
Yeah, Twizzlers, no question.
You can smack
right.
somebody in the road with it.
All right, so it's the conference finals. We've got 4 left. So we've got Cheese Balls versus Skittles, and we've got Butterfingers versus Twizzlers. So
This is a good
so
matchup.
now we're back to conference finals.
Yeah,
Here we
it
go.
is.
Cheese Balls or Skittles?
I'm gonna go Skittles.
Skits. Yeah, I'm gonna go Skittles. That's what it is.
Wow. All right, so they just won the Western Conference. Butterfingers versus Twizzlers.
Twizzlers for me. I would say
Twizzlers, yeah,
Twizzlers
I don't
for me.
like
That's
Butterfinger.
full of red 20. Full of red 20. It's pure red 20.
All right,
That's
now
Red
we're,
100.
now we're in the championship game, the road trip snack championship game. Skittles versus Twizzlers.
I'm going to say, here's the thing. I'm going to just make the case of Twizzlers because you can slap people on the road, and sometimes you need to slap somebody, wake them up, do something.
They're not too sweet,
whip 'em.
right? So for a road
Yeah.
trip, it's like you don't feel as guilty. You don't feel like you're getting a cavity.
They don't break my crown in the back of my mouth when I eat it.
But, and let me make an argument for Skittles. They taste
Yeah.
really good.
Now, if we're
So-
talking the purple bag, like different flavor
Yes.
bags, that does
The
matter.
wild berry. That's the only one I get.
Wild berry is a really good one.
So I'm
Wait,
going
so-
Skittles.
You're going Skittles.
I'm going to
And
go Twizzies.
You went Twizzlies. I'm a tiebreaker. I'm going Twizzlers. I think Twizzlers took down the championship.
Finally got one of these.
The road trip snack championship, Twizzlers. And you know what? Jesse can't say boo about it because he left.
Yeah,
so
too bad. He's out.
Does he hate Twizzlers?
All right. I have no clue. All right. That'll do it for...
It's the road trip snack playoffs.
Well, before we wrap things up, I want to thank Joel Smallbone for joining us today. Make sure to check out their fantastic new film, Unsung Hero. It comes out this weekend nationwide. We've seen it. It's really good. It's honestly a really good one. Also, make sure to check out relevantmagazine.com every weekday, where we are covering the intersection of faith, life, culture, and everything in between. Also, don't miss a thing. Follow us on all the socials. We're posting all day, every day over at X, Facebook, Instagram stories, sometimes the main feed. TikTok we're going to get to. So follow us there, and then you'll know when we start posting on TikTok. All right. On that note, we'll wrap it up. I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Emily Brown.
I'm Marty.
For Jesse, we will see you on Friday. Have a great week, everyone.
Thanks for listening to the Relevant Podcast. Check out our features, interviews, and news updates every day at relevantmagazine.com. And make sure to follow Relevant on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for the latest. For more great podcasts, browse the shows on the Relevant Podcast Network, which you can find at our site. And while you're there, don't miss the all-new era of Relevant Magazine. A new issue releases every other month at relevantmagazine.com.
First off, how dare you? First off, how dare you?
Relevant Podcast Network. Shopify is a global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business and sell more with less effort thanks to the Shopify magic. Your AI-powered all-star. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/redcircle, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/redcircle now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/redcircle.